In kindergarten, I got a flyer from my teacher that said that there was tryouts for like the rec league in Watsonville, and I took that to my parents and I said, hey, like I want to play, and they said, oh, like maybe next year, like next year. And then first grade came around, same thing, we got the same flyer for rec, and I went up to my mom and I said, look, like take me. I have $40. I have my the registration here. Like all you need is for you to take me. And then again, she was like, next year. And then we went to a park behind our house, and there was little kids training. And I asked my parents if I could go join them. And my dad said, we should ask the coach, he's never played before. He'll probably go in there and they'll just tell him to leave because he wouldn't know what he was doing. My dad asked the coach. The coach said, yeah, sure, like just let him come in here. I jumped in and I just started running around. That was around the age of 6. And since then, I've played ever since. Since the earliest memories that I have of my childhood, when I was a kid, that was on my mind, so to play at the professional level. It wasn't up until, I'd say, like high school, when I was like 14, 15, where I started to realize how much extra work that I actually needed to do if I wanted to reach that level. I played club up until I was 14, and then I played for the Santa Cruz Breakers Academy, and I played there up until I went to college, so I didn't play high school. My first year in college was here at Cal State Monterey Bay, and that was in 2017. And that's also when I really saw myself doing a lot of extra work. I remember I had my schedule every spring. I'd wake up at 5, I'd hit the gym, then I'd go early to training, I would practice with the team, and then in the evening, if I wanted to do a little extra, I would do that. I think really in college, in those 5 years, is what really developed me and gave me the opportunity to be able to play professionally. My last season for CSMB was in fall 2021. So before the season started, I was already thinking about having to perform. Obviously, I needed to have a good season, just in case I needed to reach out to any teams, send out film, get some of my stats up, I received an award for first team all CCAA, which I think obviously showed the type of player I was in the conference that I played in. Then in November, when my season ended, up until January, I just wanted to strictly focus on training and hitting the gym, because I knew that there was going to be tryouts here for Monterey Bay F.C. My coach, Graham Japp, was in contact with Frank Yallop. They had mentioned my name here and there. I came a couple times, introduced myself, but that was the only real option that I really had. I wasn't really talking to any other teams. I knew that I was going to play here. I knew that I was going to do everything that I could to be able to play here. So as soon as the season ended, I just trained with a bunch of my friends, teammates. One thing that I always remember is, I basically was the last person to get signed, last person on the roster. Now that I've been starting, it's just always in the back of my mind. I can't take this for granted. There's so many other players that wish they could be in my position. So the least I could do is just try to be the hardest working person on the field. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just, I get pretty emotional just thinking about that, because I know it's everything that I worked for. When I signed my contract, that's probably one of the first times that I've been talking about it, so I probably need some little breathers, but yeah. I think, apart from my family, I think that was probably the happiest that I've ever been in my life, when I sat down with Frank in his office and signed the contract. I went outside, I got a breath of fresh air, and I was the happiest person in the world, I still am. I show up every day to practice. I try to be the first person on the field, sometimes the last to leave, even if sometimes it's not even so much that I'm training. Sometimes it's just me sitting there with a couple of my teammates and just enjoying it, because I know this isn't gonna last forever. It's my first year, but I know how time flies now,
Nice, when you just go
so
outside, you just sit right
I
there,
want to enjoy it and just give it everything I have to get the most out of it. Everywhere I go, obviously here I want to do everything I can to keep getting results. We're on a little streak right now, and I want to continue that. I want to be a part of the reason why this team was going to do so well. Playing here in Cardinale Stadium, it's really a dream come true. For not a lot of people are able to say they're playing in their hometown, and the community that they grew up in. So the fact that I'm able to do that my first year, I love coming to every single home game and seeing my family, seeing my friends. I've met a lot of new people here from the community that I didn't know before, from Marina, Salinas, you know, even people from Watsonville, they come out after the game, they come say what's up. They tell me that they're proud to see me, you know, representing the community, the 831, Watsonville, you know, Santa Cruz County, Salinas here, Monterey County. It makes me really happy, and it gives me an extra push during the game. You hear the fans cheering, and I just know that they have our back, and I know that I'm playing for the community that I grew up in. It just means the world to me. Like I said, my favorite people to see here is obviously my family, but then just knowing that most of the people who are here from around the area, and like I said, when they reach out to me and I have conversations with people in the area, I see people out around in town and stuff, and they mention about me playing and stuff. It makes me just feel really at home, and I think, to be honest, that's another reason why I've really grown as a player. So obviously our first couple games were away, and now we have a home crowd, you know. We start seeing our fans and how they support us. So it really makes us feel at home.